Shalom, this is Beginner Biblical Hebrew, Lesson 12. This is the last lesson in our Beginner Biblical Hebrew course. At this point, we know all the 22 letters of the Hebrew Aleph-Bet. We know the Aleph, the Bet, the Vet, the Gimel, the Dalet, the He, the Vav, the Zayin, the Chet, the Tet, the Yod, the Kaf, the Chaf Sofit, the Lamed, the Mem and the Mem Sofit, the Nun and the Nun Sofit, the Samech, the Ayin, the Pei, the Fe and the Fe Sofit, the Zadeh and the Zadeh Sofit, the Kuf, the Resh, the Shin and the Sin, and the Tab. So we should be able to recognize these letters, write these letters, and be able to distinguish them from each other, the look-alike letters. The final lesson that we have to learn about the vowels is, in this beginner course at least, is the Furtive Patach. The Furtive Patach. So when the last letter of a Hebrew word is a He, a Chet, or an Ayin, and the vowel underneath is a Patach, the combination is pronounced by first pronouncing the vowel sound and then the consonant sound. So this is different because we normally pronounce the consonant sound and then the vowel sound. So we will look at some examples in the next slide. But the accent or the stress in the word is normally on the next to the last syllable. So let's look at some examples. Now, the accents are emphasized here with italics. So, for example, with He, we have the Hebrew word Eloah, Eloah. And this is not Aloha, but Eloah, Eloah. And you can see that the syllable right before that last syllable is emphasized. That's where the accent is placed. And we also have the Hebrew word gavoah, gavoah. For chet, there are quite a few more examples. We have noach, ruach, and mashiach. So if you are a Hebrew student, you should be able to recognize each of those three words. Noach is Noah in the scriptures. Ein, some examples with Ein is Yeshua, Yeshua. Shavua, Shavua, and Moshiach. So these are just, when you are reading Hebrew words, these are just certain things to look out for so that you get the pronunciations right. Let's talk about the Hebrew Bible. So the Hebrew Bible is divided into 4 main sections. The first 5 books is the Torah, the prophets, which is the Nevi'im, and the writings, which is the Ketuvim. So this is what we would commonly call the Old Testament, and we call that in Hebrew, you'll hear it being called the Tanakh, which is the Tav from Torah, the Nun from Nevi'im, and the Kaf from Ketuvim. The New Covenant, or the New Testament, also called the Apostolic Writings, is the Berit Hadashah. Berit Hadashah. So, if you're studying the scriptures, depending on what translation you have, you may see the ordering of the scriptures differently according to this breakdown here. So let's talk about the names of the books that are in the Torah. Genesis is Bereshit. which means in the beginning. Exodus is Shemot, which means names. Leviticus is Vayikra, which means and he called. Numbers is Bemidbar, which means in the wilderness. And Deuteronomy is Devarim, which means words. So we have reading practice, and at this point, with the exception of some odd rules, you should be able to pick up uh, a Bible that is in Hebrew, that has the Hebrew and the vowel points, and you should be able to read it. So let's look at Psalm 117, verses 1 through 2, which happens to be the entire psalm. Halu et Yahweh kol goyim shabchuhu kol ha'umim. The second verse is Ki gavar Aleinu hasdo ve'emet Yahweh le'olam hallelujah. So the transliteration of this verse, or these two verses, is in the back with the answers. So we have some new vocabulary words. The first is the Tetragrammaton, Yod He Wah He, which is Yahweh. The second is the long form of the Messiah's name, Yehoshua. The third is the short form of his name, which was used when he walked the earth, Yeshua. And the fourth is the word that means God or mighty one in Hebrew, Elohim. We have some other Hebrew words here. Erev means evening. Shabbat means Sabbath. Shalom means peace. Sameach means joyful. Toda means thanks. Rabbah means much. And Cain means yes. So we should be able to read and translate the following. Shabbat Shalom. You'll hear this if you celebrate the Sabbath and join in for fellowship. People will greet you with a Shabbat Shalom. Peaceful Shabbat. It's a greeting. Erev Shabbat is Friday evening, the beginning part of the Shabbat or the Sabbath. Toda Rabbah means thank you very much. Yom Shabbat means Sabbath day. And Chag Sameach, you'll hear people as you are celebrating the feast days say Chag Sameach, and that means joyful feast. So we have our final biblical application, which is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. We call this verse the Ve'ahavta, and we can see why, because the first words of this verse is Ve'ahavta. So this says Ve'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha b'chol lav vecha uv'chol naf shecha uv'chol me'odecha. And that says, and you shall love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. So congratulations, hallelujah, you have completed beginner biblical Hebrew. You've done all 12 lessons. You've learned all your letters. You've learned your vowels. You've learned some pronunciation rules. And Moreh Adoniyahu and I hope that this series has been a blessing to you. If it has been a blessing to you, please like our videos, subscribe to our channel. leave a comment and let us know um, the impact of these videos in your learning. Let us know any comments or suggestions or anything of that nature. Let us know that in the comments section. You can send an email to directacad.oneway@gmail.com. You could check out our website, directacad.com. We have a PayPal link there if you would like to make a donation to our ministry. That would be a blessing. Yah bless.